As a son of a sub, I sailed into Roselli's on 10th for lunch. Hot Italian meatball, Philly cheesesteak done right. The ultimate subs, they hit every bite. As a son of a sub, Roselli's on 10th, come get you some lunch or dinner from the sea to the shore. Best darn sandwiches you'll ever adore. Roselli's on 10th, the ultimate sub, yeah boy.
When you love racing like we do, you deserve more than just a place to sleep. You deserve a great place to stay. And that's exactly what you'll get with the Holiday Inn Express, the Hampton Inn, and the fully renovated Red Roof Inn and Suites, all in Wilkesboro. Enjoy award-winning Southern hospitality, comfortable and spacious rooms with a complimentary breakfast. But the fun doesn't stop there. Take in the beauty of our back roads and the richness of our history. Whether you're here for the excitement of the races or the beauty of our countryside, we're ready to welcome you back.
The 1915 combines rich history with timeless charm. From intimate gatherings to full-day rentals, we provide the perfect backdrop for your most cherished moments. With indoor and outdoor options, bridal and groom suites, every detail is crafted just for you. Make your wedding unforgettable at the 1915, Wilkesboro's historic wedding venue, where your story begins.
Closed captions for this episode of Life in Wilkes is brought to you by Deal Insurance Agency in Wilkesboro, an award-winning, experienced, family-owned and operated agency with service and coverage that goes above and beyond expectations. Join us on a captivating journey as we explore the charm, history, and vibrant culture of Wilkes County. Discover the hidden gems, inspiring stories, and remarkable people that make Wilkes a place worth knowing and celebrating. Join us now as we experience the unique essence of Life in Wilkes.
Good morning, Rosie. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's so good to see you. I've seen you, of course, as a participant sitting in the audience of some of the DAR meetings over the past few years. I've always been impressed with your work.
Oh, thank you.
But before we get into all of that, tell everybody a little bit about you. Where were you born? What did your people do?
My name is Rosie Summers, and I'm the Regent of the Rendezvous Mountain chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. I was originally born in a small town called Havre de Grace, Maryland. Fun fact, Havre de Grace was named by Lafayette. It means Harbor of Grace. It reminded him of his place in France. But I moved here when I was 11, so I consider myself a Wilkes Countyan.
Right. Well, that's wonderful. What did your mom and dad do in life?
My father worked at the Aberdeen Proving Ground. He was a machinist.
Okay, all right. So because you are a member of the DAR, right? So there was a family connection. So tell everybody how that works, and then we'll get more into the story. But to become a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, you have to have a bloodline, right?
You do. So you have to be a woman age 18 years or older with a direct bloodline, a proven direct bloodline to an American Revolutionary patriot. Now, patriot is not necessarily a soldier. It is someone who helped further the cause. It could be a farmer who fed an army, or someone who gave supplies.
People that helped in the cause.
People that helped. You could have the best fighting army, which we didn't, but you could have, and if they starved to death, they would have been of no use. So anyone who helped further the cause is a patriot for DAR purposes. My people didn't come out of Pennsylvania until 1940s when my father left. They came out of Pennsylvania. My grandfather was a coal miner, and they came out looking for work, and they came to Maryland because there is a military base there, and there was lots of work opportunity, lots of jobs.
That's great. So somewhere in your upline, if you will, there were people who were sympathetic to the cause, who were supportive and beneficial. So that's how it all happens, right?
Yes.
So, Rosie, tell us what the Daughters of the American Revolution do.
So we were built on education, historic preservation, and patriotism.
Was that because you saw a great need for that, and there people were just not aware of what had happened in the past, and it was important to actually form an organization?
It was 25 years after the end of the Civil War, and there was a great interest in heritage and the beginnings of America.
So that's how it all started then. Well, I guess we all feel the same way now, right?
We do.
We have passions, and we want to carry things forward, and oftentimes we don't have enough help. Right?
Right.
So talk about the DAR from that standpoint, because tell us about the chapter that you are the regent of, right? The leader, and how that compares to other chapters. Do you have special things that you're doing, and they have special things they're doing? How does that work?
Well, every community has a different opportunity. So I'll use the Wilkes Heritage Museum as an example. We in Wilkes County have the Robert Cleveland Cabin, and we are so fortunate to have that. That was built in the 1700s, and so that is one of the missions of our chapter, is the historic preservation of that.
Okay.
We call that our DAR dollhouse.
No one knows that, do they? Well, not until now, but that's because you're responsible. You're part of the preservation work of it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So it's the dollhouse. I get that concept and that idea. Does that give you more creative liberties, or does that really put you in a place of responsibility of let's make this as authentic as we possibly can?
The museum has been wonderful to work with. Oh, they're just wonderful, and we've reached out to them, and we've asked permission to do certain things at the cabin, and they're wonderful to work with. So we have rescued the landscape from weeds and from overgrowing mint, and we have replaced the 4 raised garden beds. So we are in the process now of making one garden bed like a tea bed, and one a kitchen bed, and then 2 medicinal garden beds.
So are these flower beds or plant beds that you're creating, are they the idea for them to be period accurate?
Yes, they are.
Okay. All right. So how do people respond to that? Have you had feedback yet?
Well, we're still in the process of it. I think everyone is so pleased that the garden beds have been replaced. I think the Boy Scouts had originally put those there, but it's been a number of years ago, and they have decayed over time. But we're really excited about it, and to see these plants, and to just for our own research and our own knowledge, just going back and looking at the cures for some of these plants is very interesting.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because, of course, we go to Walgreens now, or whatever pharmacy we go to get our fixes. But back in the day, if you will, the Revolutionary time, that was often you went to the flower beds and the gardens to get this leaf or that leaf, and they were curative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And something interesting that I didn't realize until Jason Duncan told us is that cabin was the 5th largest residence in the great state of Wilkes.
That's right.
When we walked into that house, I don't know that it necessarily reflects that, and that's maybe where the museum needs a little bit of help with their funding, that the DAR could step in and just kind of help furnish that and help make it look like this is a man of power and has some wealth in the county. The 5th largest county in the great state of Wilkes, the 5th largest house. That's amazing. What's been
the most exciting thing for you as an individual? Because I understand as regent, you're pulling everybody together, but for you, Rosie, when you go home at night, what are the things that you say, oh, yeah, we just had a great day today, because it really does matter? What are those things for you?
Our chapter loves to work. We are the happiest when we serve. And we periodically, about every 6 or so weeks, go over there and clean the Cleveland cabin, which I think that really helps the museum staff.
Sure.
And it gives the visitors a better, a more pleasant time
A
when
less
they're in
dusty
a clean
experience.
a less dusty experience.
Right.
And when Mary Boland is over there with her cooking demonstrations, of course she wants to cook in a clean house, so we can
Right.
help. We can help other people further their goals and their missions. One thing that we also did this past December is we partnered with another chapter, the Tucker's Barn chapter, and we cleaned the home of Fort Defiance, which is
Sure. That's a great property.
Oh, it is wonderful. That, of course, that was the largest house in the
I was
great
getting ready to
state
say.
of
I was
Wilkes.
getting ready to say you have more to clean there.
It was more to clean, but we decorated it for Christmas,
Oh,
and that
okay.
enabled Fort Defiance to be open for their Christmas holidays, which they hadn't been able to do in years. But that enabled them to be open and bring in some revenue for the property. So it didn't cost us anything. We used their decorations, but she said it took you 2 days to do what it would have taken us 2 weeks to do. So that freed them up to do other things, and that makes me feel good.
So you're going to be doing that every year?
Well, I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
I think it would be a wonderful thing.
Well, it certainly seems like a win-win for everybody, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? So doing work, these partnership-type projects, I don't know if you call it that or if it's just you're serving, but that has to be a good thing for everybody involved, right?
It is, and it really helps educate the community. Another project that we had recently was we cleaned the tombstones at the Presbyterian Church Cemetery.
Oh my gosh, that had so much attention too. A lot of media attention, a lot of people talking about that. Why don't you tell us about why you did it, and then as you got into the process, you're cleaning and then you're discovering things, right? You're discovering
Absolutely.
people. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So a few people had mentioned to me over time, about cleaning that cemetery, and it's a lot of work, and it requires a water source.
Right.
And then the third person who mentioned it to me was Sandy Murphy. She is a member of our chapter. She's also a member of the Celebration Church. And when she mentioned it to me, she wanted to head the project. And I said, if you want to head this project and you find us a water source and funding for it, go right ahead. And she sure did.
She did it.
Nice. She met with the Wilkesboro Cemetery Committee, which I did not know existed until then.
Sure.
And they unanimously approved our project. And she also met with the Historic Preservation Commission, and they funded it. So they bought all the D2 solution kits,
Right.
which that was a lot of money, and we really appreciate them
That's
doing that.
great product, though.
It is.
It's just, we discovered that years ago. I had a friend at Arlington, and I said, what do you clean those with? And he told us about that product, and we've helped clean a few things as well. So that's a really good thing. Just while we're still there at the cemetery, let's talk about why that's important. From my thoughts initially, it's like, well, there's probably going to be people discovered, people that have been forgotten, right? Because the cemetery has not been taken care of, and I imagine a lot of people would think, well, why didn't the church do it? Well, there's no church there, right?
And it never belonged to the church.
Right.
And that's a fun fact that Jason Duncan discovered, is that it never belonged to the church. So at the time, that cemetery was at the edge of town, and the people who purchased it never lived in Wilkes. They purchased it and moved somewhere else, and so they never came back to visit that property. And time went by, and people started being buried in that area at the edge of town. And in the recent history, the town had the descendants sign over that property to the town so that the town could maintain it.
Oh, perfect.
And they do a good
Perfect.
job with the landscape, just keeping it mowed and things like that.
Right. But you've got it in shape now.
Oh, it's wonderful now.
Yes.
There's a beautiful cast iron fence around the Finley graves,
Right.
and I didn't think anything could be done with it. It was in terrible shape. It had all kinds of lichen. It was a solid green,
Right.
but that cleaned up beautifully. It looks brand new, actually. But I'm hoping that that our work will encourage the family, the remaining family, to go in and maybe kind of redo some of the brickwork and other things that needs to be done in the cemetery.
But now you've got it into a shape that it's easier to envision
Right.
other things that could be done, but it was in pretty rough shape.
It was. We dug 4 stones out of the ground. We uncovered those.
Right. Wow, how exciting. Well, I know that was not a restful day.
But it was a wonderful day.
Yeah, that's good. And it was really in the plans for a long time, because I kept getting messages about it. Carl, you need to, do a story about the cemetery that's been cleaned up, and we're discovering new people. So I think that's a great project. Okay, so tell us about the event that I was at last, where R.G. Apsher received the Longleaf Pine Award. That was a great event, and the tea was good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and it was a well-deserved recognition for R.G. He has worked tirelessly in our community, but we received a grant from the North Carolina Department of Cultural Resources, and that's how the teas began. So we celebrated the 250th anniversary of Lexington and Concord battle at Fort Defiance, and that was our first tea. And since we had all the supplies, we've decided just to continue having teas because everyone enjoys it.
Oh,
and so
that's
that was one of our last.
So the one that you did at Fort Defiance, that was your first tea.
Yes.
I was there for that, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. I didn't realize I was at a momentous occasion like that. That was great. Well, Fort Defiance has so much history and intrigue. We did a segment for TV with Fort Defiance years ago, and it was just wonderful. I mean, the historic aspect. I met Benjamin Franklin. He was in town, and Thomas Jefferson, and Franklin was trying to convince me that still yet the American turkey would be a better choice over the eagle. So anyway, I don't know that I agree or disagree, but in any event, Fort Defiance is a great place. So do you do things there yearly now, or was that a one-off?
That was just to celebrate the Lexington and Concord anniversary.
Okay.
But now we did clean for them and
Okay.
decorate for
Christmas.
For Christmas, so that they could open up. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a wonderful thing. Let's talk about the value that your organization sees with each one of these events, and when new people show up. I imagine that's an important thing, right?
Right.
Talk about why that is important to get new people.
I learn something all the time, and I have learned more about the American Revolution in the last 3 years than I have ever learned in school, ever. But it's important to know this about the Southern campaign. And I think that most people think that America 250 is the 4th of July, 2026, and that's one and done. But it's not. The American Revolution was an 8-year process.
That's right.
And the 4th of July was when it went from bad to worse. So
that's why we need to keep celebrating for another year at least.
yes, for several more years.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I think that little piece of history that you just shared, I would imagine that would be enlightening to a lot of people who are listening now, even people who had history class. You said that you've learned more, right, in the past 3 years than you ever knew. I wonder why that is. Is it because wars are so gruesome and difficult and hard to talk about, or just the general lack of interest?
I think for me, because now it's personal, because my grandfather had a part in that. And I think that's what makes it more personal and makes it more interesting. We're interested in what was going on 250 years ago in the colony, but how did that affect my grandfather or my grandmother? And I think that's that it really helps the information stick in our minds.
I would imagine that there would be many people that if they were to take time and go back, some generations, they would find family members that have participated.
Absolutely.
Unless they're people that have arrived in New York, after everything had already been established, and they're migrating here. But before that, there was some tough time. I think the Revolutionary War is also interesting from a standpoint of thinking about the beginning of our nation, and the idea that it was just a bunch of wild people running around. That's not the case at all, right? We were in English colonies, so we drank tea. We liked tea, and we stirred up a little skirmish over tea, if I remember right.
I think we liked it quite well.
Yeah, it worked out to our advantage.
Yes, it did.
But do you find having those conversations with people that come to their meetings when you're at the library talking to folks, especially young people, and their parents, are people surprised at the things they're hearing?
I think they definitely are. I think they are interested, and I think that young people, particularly when I mentioned maybe your great-great-great-grandfather, participated in this, they look at me incredulously, like, how could that possibly be? But obviously, it can be.
I was interviewing a fellow a few weeks ago, and we were talking about America 250 just as a curious conversation. It wasn't the purpose of the interview. But he said that his grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather was a signer of the Declaration of Independence.
Wow.
And I said, oh, that's good to know. We'll come back and do another show about that. But we have people walking amongst us, and a lot of people walking amongst us, who have relatives that were involved in some way, form, or fashion. Maybe they didn't all sign the Declaration of Independence, but they were still involved. So that heritage, that sense of belonging, did that make a big difference in your life, and how do you see it impacts other people?
It did make a big difference in my life. When I trace my lineage, I have found several patriots, and I'm so proud of that. And we wear their name. We wear the name of our patriot. We say their name out loud. We keep the stories alive. We recently had the opportunity to address the students at Wilkes Central High School, and we talked to them about our patriots, particularly the local ones. That information is not taught in schools. When you learn about the Revolution, you learn about the Boston Tea Party, maybe the Boston Massacre, maybe Lexington and Concord, but you don't hear about the Southern Campaign, and you don't learn about Benjamin Cleveland and his brother Robert, and you don't really hear about the Battle of Kings Mountain.
Yes.
But all those things are very important to Wilkes County people and to this community and to this area.
I think it's important because when Cleveland was at the Battle of Kings Mountain, he came back with a white horse.
Ferguson's horse.
That's right. I thought that was depends upon which side you're on. You feel differently about it, but I thought that was great.
Absolutely.
It was a big, strong horse, I hope.
It would have had to have been. Yeah. We actually have one descendant of Benjamin Cleveland in our chapter.
Do you really?
We do.
Oh, are they talkative?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she was a high school teacher.
Oh, great. That's interesting. That's interesting. We may have to chat with her then.
Absolutely.
It's because that is a very strong connection. We have property, that people can visit now. It's complicated, isn't it? It depends upon the people and what their story might be. So there's a lot of work in helping inform people on their potential heritage.
Absolutely. We have a wonderful registrar named Debbie Pruitt, and she does help people with their lineage. So we ask people to provide their birth certificate and their parents' birth certificate or death certificate and their grandparents' death certificate.
Okay.
And then she kind of takes it from there and finds them a patriot. She is really good, and I've not found anybody she hasn't found a patriot for yet.
Is that right?
It is.
Especially because the criteria, because they would not have had to have actually served, but they could have lent support.
Right. And if you think about it, you have 2 parents and 4 grandparents and 8 great-grandparents. And when you multiply that 8 generations, that's a lot of people to look through and more opportunities to find a patriot.
Right. So your patriot may be in an obscure place from your thought process.
Right.
But once you're established, right?
Right.
Does the DAR and the Sons of the American Revolution, are they pretty much operate the same? Do they do the same thing for their members?
I really don't know what the SAR does for their members. I know I really don't know a lot about the SAR. We work beautifully together, even though they did vote us out.
I was getting ready to say, as you were saying that, I said, I shouldn't have asked that. There's little feelings there.
No, we get together beautifully. We don't have an SAR chapter in Wilkes. I wish we did. There is one in Boone, and there's one in Elkin.
Right. History is so incredibly important for all of us. But it's that thing that seems to be the most complicated to service and to spend time learning about and talking about. And maybe that's why it's difficult for people to get involved or work together. Do you think?
I think it takes a lot of time to go through all that information, and I think time mainly could be the culprit on some of that.
Exactly. It's exactly because you want to know, or maybe you don't know you want to know until you get inspired to want to know, and then you realize that's going to be a bit of work, isn't it?
Right,
Yeah.
it is.
But it's always worth it. If you look at society today and the work that you're doing, the DAR is doing, you're definitely helping inform the community, but you're also helping with younger people. Talk about that a bit.
So we love going to the schools. We recently read a book to the first graders in all 13 of Wilkes County schools, which was a lot of fun. And then we had like a little fun activity. It was about a garden, so we dressed up. I wore overalls, and so we had a little fun activity for the kids. But just being allowed to be in the schools, that is a wonderful thing. I know that we have contests. We have American History essay contest and American History video contest. We actually have 2 American History video state winners this year. We're so happy about that.
So did they produce the videos? Is that
Yes.
Okay.
They do.
Great.
Yes, they did a great
job. We
job.
love that. We like good producers wherever they are. That's a good thing. Do you think this work with the students make a difference?
I think it does. One of the students, we learned that he is a direct descendant of Samuel Johnson. So I was able to tell him about his great-great-great-great-grandfather, and I think he felt proud about that.
Did he know
very
any of
interested.
that?
He did not.
Oh,
See?
interesting. Interesting. So, and how old was this young man?
He's in the 8th grade.
So he's in the 8th grade. He's just learning this thing that conceivably could shape his thoughts for the rest of his life.
It could. Absolutely.
Yeah. Success stories with the DAR that you've seen since you've been in your position as Regent. How long has that been? How long have you been Regent?
3 years.
Okay. Is there a time limit, or it's just as long as people love what you do?
The term is usually 3 years. My term is actually going to be 4.
Okay.
So I have 1 more year.
All right. Was that for good behavior, or?
The jury's still out on that.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Is that often? Does that happen often?
I filled a position. I filled in 1 year for some past regent who wasn't able to complete her
So
term.
you got the credit for that, and then you got your regular 3 terms. Okay, good.
Right.
So if everybody stays healthy.
If everybody stays healthy. Yes, I have 1 more year.
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll be in good shape. Talk just a moment, because we mentioned it as you were coming in, and we mentioned the teas earlier. But the social aspect of teas, talk about how that's beneficial, because we've talked about it. It's like, well, why are they doing teas? That's so old-fashioned. we drink teas every day here. But talk about that for a minute. Why is it important to dress up and give homage to the past and have tea and conversation?
I think we're forgetting how to have a conversation with all the technology. So learning how to have a conversation is important. Tea was important in society, and they didn't begin to drink coffee until the tea was taxed so high that they couldn't afford it.
Right. So that's why we have jitters.
That's why we. That's why.
Yes, doggone those taxes. All right, that's enough to make people upset. So the tea came aboard, and it became part of. Was it part of everybody's life, or was it considered a more civilized thing to do?
I think tea was probably part of everyone's life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But when people think about DAR, a lot of times they think about little old ladies sitting around drinking tea. So we just kind of played into that.
Yeah.
And while they're enjoying tea and a cucumber sandwich, we give them important information and share information on their history and our local history. And I think that gets people interested in their own personal history. Hearing other people's stories is very interesting because we talk about our patriots and our grandfathers as if it happened just last week. One of the ladies in our chapter, her family went west, and her great-great-great-grandfather witnessed an Indian attack on the family, and of course he was a child and was in hiding when he witnessed that. But it does make you curious about other parts of America and of our founding, and it makes you want to do some more research, and I think that's very helpful. Absolutely.
Learn more. You know, a moment ago when I asked you the question, I said, was it civilized? Some people may take homage with that, but the idea of being civilized was not necessarily your status, but more of your involvement, right, and your engagement, because all the ladies that sit around the table, where they of course are descendants, they come from all types of backgrounds, all types of social economic backgrounds. They're all very different.
Absolutely. There was a lady in our area who made ammunition. I mean, I would not say. I think that's dirty work, and it's hard, and it's hot, and I wouldn't say that she would probably sit around in a British gown and sip tea with other ladies. She was a hard worker.
Well, she would get the cups black, that's for sure. My goodness. But that's an interesting story, though. I would find that one of the more interesting stories. She did that. So that's she was the Annie Oakley of that moment, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that story. So what does it look like for the future? I mean, this is an important year, 2026. We're celebrating America in a big way. So I think for most people, the biggest challenge is how to enunciate the
semi-quincentennial.
That's the one. Say that twice. Say that slow.
The semi-quincentennial.
That's nice. But unless you break it down like that, it can be a tongue twister at the very most. I've heard people. I said, could you tell me what we're getting ready to celebrate? And I found this document, and they would say, nope. Nope. I mean, 250 is easy.
250 is very easy.
250 is easy. But it is nice to kind of know all the different pieces of it all. Can you imagine a society of which were not allowed to celebrate our heritage and our history?
No. The daughters would not exist. The sons of the American Revolution would not exist.
There are civilizations that don't allow such things, but ours does.
Absolutely. That's what we fought. That's what our grandparents fought for.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
It's just so much bigger than any one person. I mean, it was founding of a new nation. It was hard and bloody and dreadful, but it was for the building of the thing that we get to enjoy now.
We're reaping their benefits.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. So if you look at where we are now in 2026. What do you think are some of the more exciting things that are on the schedule for this year that you're involved with?
Oh, well, in June we're hosting a traveling exhibit that will be at the Wilkes Heritage Museum. It's an exhibit that the DAR owns, and we relay it across the state. So we're picking it up from the Boone chapter, and the Salisbury chapter is going to pick it up from us. But we're relaying it across the state, and it's several different panels and some kiosks, interactive.
And it'll be on display
things.
at the museum?
It'll be on display at the museum. That's in June.
How long is the display there?
It's 1 week.
Okay. So people will have an opportunity to make their way in.
Yes.
Do you know the week? Is it? It's on this paper somewhere.
It's the 14th through the 21st.
Okay, the 14th through of June, which
Of
is
June.
just a few days from now.
Just a few days, yes.
That's great.
And then in July, on July the 4th, we're showing a film called The American Miracle.
I came to persuade you to avoid these dangers.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
If our union is to hold together, something must be done.
He will become founder of a mighty empire.
The fate of unborn millions now depends under God upon the conduct and courage of this army.
Various founders talked about this providential experiment that God had ordained and intervened at this unique moment in American history to make all of this happen.
Most of them believed that there were no accidents in history.
That hope for liberty was the light that under God, He would lead them.
All eyes are open or opening to the rights of man.
Am I all mankind?
We have been assured, sir, in the sacred writings, that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it.
It cannot be denied that with America and in America, a new era commences in human affairs.
America is something that I hold in my heart.
Americans of today should regain our bearings, that our nation is no accident.
It is a wonderful film. You learn something new every time you watch it. But the man and woman who portrayed George and Martha Washington, we are actually bringing to Wilkes in November, and we are really excited about that.
Oh, well, that's good news.
Oh, yeah.
What are they going to be doing?
Well,
is it a secret?
It's not a secret.
Okay.
They're gonna be interacting with the kids and
at the museum.
At the museum, they're gonna be interacting with the people at the museum. He's gonna hold an audience, probably two audience. I think we can fill that auditorium twice. So he'll hold two kind of town meetings.
If my notes are correct, your Washington has quite a pedigree himself.
He does. He worked at Mount Vernon,
right,
as George Washington should.
Right. Yeah, that was exciting because there's a lot of due diligence they do in having their Washingtons. So that's exciting. And how about his wife?
Martha.
Right.
They do not come out of character. They are wonderful. It's wonderful to see their costumes. It's wonderful to see how they address each other and those around them. George Washington does not speak into a microphone because he doesn't know what it is.
Right.
They do take questions and answers.
He wouldn't, would he?
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. They do take questions, but you have to think about how you phrase the question because they may not understand what you're asking.
Right.
For instance, I had the opportunity to see him in Lincolnton, and someone asked Martha how she enjoyed being the First Lady, and she did not know what they were talking about.
Right. Well, because that wasn't a reference point.
Right.
Until later. Much later, actually.
She did answer their question, but not after she taught everyone in the audience that was not a term of the time.
Right. right. Because they didn't really know if there was going to be a second or a third or a fourth. They were hoping there would be. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's great. So that event is that open to the public?
It is free and open to the public.
Okay.
And that is on Saturday, the first Saturday in November. But on Friday and Saturday in November, we're bringing the Freedom Truck to Wilkes County.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yes. We're very excited
Now,
about
will
that.
the president and his wife be there for that, or are they just in town for one day?
So the Freedom Truck is here for Friday and Saturday. It is free and open to the public. On Saturday, in addition to the Freedom Truck, people will have the opportunity to meet George and Martha Washington. It's General Washington.
Yes.
He's not the president
That's right.
yet.
Not yet.
He's not the president yet.
Not yet. Stories in the past we've done in Newbern. And there's a rather nice house there that stories of him dancing there because the president was quite the dancer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, well, they keep their secrets down on the coast. Maybe that was it. Well, that's exciting. Anything else this year? That sounds like a full plate, but
let me consult my notes.
Yes, if you would. While you're looking at that, July the 4th, something new will be happening in the county. There will be a parade.
Yes.
More than just the fire trucks. It'll actually, there will be exhibits. Are you participating in that?
We are participating in that. Plans to be determined.
Okay.
But we are going to participate, and we will have a display in North Wilkesboro.
Okay. All right, good. So you've got a display. So you're going to be very involved in our July the 4th celebrations.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The daughters should be.
Yes, they should be. Absolutely.
Should be.
Will there be tea?
Maybe no tea this time.
Right.
I think people will be so busy, and I think it'll be hot.
Right. It will be. Iced tea.
Iced tea.
Iced tea. It would have come later, I guess. Wow. So there's so many things going on this year with America 250, and we'll catch back up with you later, and we'll talk more about that. But from the daughter's standpoint, the DAR standpoint, why is this such an important moment in time?
There's a lot of things that divide us, and the semi-quincentennial is a great opportunity to celebrate the things that connect us. It's a good opportunity to celebrate our past, good or bad. We don't have to celebrate the bad, but we can acknowledge it and use that information to better ourselves, which I think that we have done.
Right.
It's just a good opportunity to come together and realize all the opportunities that we have as a country because of the price that our ancestors paid.
It's important to be informed, isn't it?
It is very important, yes.
Anything else from the heart of the DAR?
Oh, I would just like to say that we are America's oldest non-political women's service organization in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I meant to say that earlier.
No, that's big. So the oldest?
Yes.
Non-political?
Non-political.
Wow, that's impressive. I'll have to make tea later. We'll have to have a cup of tea around that. That's pretty impressive. I know we've been lighthearted with our conversation today, and I thought that was important, so we could hit on the highlights of what's going on, and we'll see what what viewers have to say about this, and then maybe we'll chat again, and we'll talk about those bigger things, maybe toward the end of the year, maybe when the Washingtons are in town.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. We have a reputation of talking to some very interesting people from the past.
That would be wonderful. We have a wonderful America 250 committee chair. Her name is Kathleen McClendon, and she is the one responsible for bringing these traveling exhibits and the Freedom Truck and the Washingtons. Actually, she's
an organizational machine, isn't she?
She really is, and she's actually cousins with both of the Washingtons.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
It's not what you know, it's who you know sometimes.
That's exactly right. My gosh, she'll have to come in then. And she assisted. There was an event at the at the Heritage Museum, and it was about Daniel Boone.
Right.
Remember that? Were you there for that?
I was out of town that day.
Oh, well, she wasn't. She was there. And I saw within a moment of her organizational skills. And then that's part of her background of doing those type of things for a very large organization.
Yes, it is.
And I was very impressed with her professionalism. I think that's important.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
She's been a blessing to our chapter, that's for sure.
That's great. Well, I think we've had a great visit. We've talked for 50 minutes. Did it go okay?
I think so.
I think it went great. What do you think your husband's going to say when he sees this?
He'll be surprised.
He'll be surprised? Oh, my gosh. Well, that's the way to do it. Keep people surprised.
That's right.
That's
Keep
a
them on
good
their
thing.
toes.
That's it. All right, Rosie, it certainly has been wonderful sitting down, chatting with you. And that's what this is about. It's about getting to know each other, letting folks get to know you and take a broad stroke on quite a few things. And we'll just see where the requests are, and we can drill down on other things maybe a little bit deeper as we get together toward the end of the year.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
I brought you a small gift.
Did you really?
I did.
Okay. All right. Oh, America 250. Oh, the Daughters of the American Revolution. Look at that. Look at where you look at that. Look at that. So what do I do with it? Do I wear it?
You can wear it. You don't have to be a daughter to wear it.
We support. We're in great support. Well, we definitely have a place of distinction, and that'll be good. I think I know some sons of the American Revolution. We can. I'll guilt them into sending me one of theirs, and then we can have them side by side.
That's right.
That's great. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed today's visit with Rosie, learning about the Daughters of the American Revolution. And more than that, I hope that some of you will have interest in learning even more. So, Rosie, for people to learn more about your organization, how do they find you?
DAR.org.
Simple as that.
As simple as that.
And they can learn all about it.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, Rosie.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending time with us on Life in Wilkes. We value you as a viewer and appreciate when you share the show with your friends and family. Be sure to bookmark our channel and join us again on the next episode of Life in Wilkes.
We have been assured, sir, in the sacred writings, that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it.
It cannot be denied that with America and in America, a new era commences in human affairs.